Unit 7, page 15. Skills 2. Listening. Activity 2. 14 Radio is asking 2 students about their eating habits. Listen to what they say and decide if the statements are true or false.
I don't have a proper breakfast. I never have time because I always get up late. Normally, my mum buys a packet of biscuits and I have some on the school bus. At lunchtime, I'm always hungry, so I have a hamburger, a packet of crisps and a cola. I can easily get them at the school canteen. For dinner, I like fried beef, noodles and eggs. I don't really eat vegetables because they aren't tasty. My mum says my eating habits are unhealthy. I'm thinking about changing them. If I continue eating like this, I may become overweight.
My brother doesn't have healthy eating habits, but I do. For breakfast, I usually have a bowl of cereal, a glass of milk, and a banana. It's important to start a new day with a good breakfast, so I tend to have nutritious things. I don't buy lunch at school. Instead, I prepare my lunchbox with 2 slices of bread, a boiled egg, and salad. Sometimes my mom makes sushi for my lunch. In the evening, my mom and I cook dinner. My favorite is steamed fish. Lean grilled chicken is also a dish I like for dinner.
Unit 8, page 27. Skills 2. Listening. Activity 2. Listen to the lecture and tick true or false.
Thanks to the widespread use of modern means of transport, people have more choice of holiday destination and can now visit even the remotest parts of the world. Tourism has certainly become an important factor in the development of many countries. An obvious benefit of tourism is that it plays a key role in economic growth. It contributes greatly to the income of a region or country. It also brings job opportunities to all kinds of people and therefore helps promote prosperity in diverse fields. Another positive aspect of tourism is that it helps promote international understanding and cooperation among nations. In addition, tourism can improve the standard of living of local or rural communities, so young people are encouraged to stay in their hometown to build a good life rather than move to big cities. Finally, tourism brings cultural benefits, as travelers learn about the history and culture of a place and spread them around the world. On the other hand, the drawbacks of tourism can't be denied.
Unit 9, page 39. Skills 2. Listening. Activity 1. Listen to 4 different people talking about speaking and learning languages. Match the summaries to each speaker. There is one extra summary.
My first language is French, but I live near the border, so I'm reasonably good at German. I can also get by in Italian. We went to Rome last summer and I picked up the basics.
My mother is Spanish and my father is French, so I'm bilingual. I'm also fluent in English, which I need for my job. I can have a conversation in Italian, but it's a bit rusty.
I used to be quite bad at English. I knew a few words of everyday English that I learnt at school, but I couldn't speak a word of anything else. Last summer, I went to England on holiday. While I was travelling around the country, I picked up enough words and phrases to get by. I was told that my pronunciation was quite good, so when I got home, I decided to learn English properly.
Last year I got a job in a multinational company, so I had to learn English. A friend recommended an English center, and I have been going there for 6 months. I always enjoy the lessons, and the language is taught in a communicative way. I think I've learned a lot since I started. It's not all fun, though, at the moment of studying for my first exam.
Unit 10, page 55. Skills 2. Listening. Activity 2. Listen again, then answer the questions with no more than 3 words.
Dreaming of a holiday sunbathing on Mars or playing some sports at a lunar resort and spa? While it may take decades for these ideas to come true, space tourism, which is space travel for recreational, leisure or business purposes, is becoming more realistic. Since 2001, the American company Space Adventures has flown tourists to the International Space Station to live and work alongside professional astronauts for up to 10 days. The company now offers a service called Spacewalk, where clients can leave the ISS and float above the Earth. It also plans to launch by 2018 its circumlunar mission, which takes clients to within 100 kilometers of the Moon's surface. Virgin Galactic, the world's first space line, has been preparing to launch its first manned spaceflight. By 2015, almost 700 people from more than 50 different countries have paid deposits at the price of $250,000 per ticket. The possibility of traveling into space sounds wonderful, but it has been criticized as well. People say it's costly, dangerous and unsustainable, since its growth could cause environmental problems, including speeding up global warming.
Unit 11, page 67. Skills 2. Listening. Activity 2. Listen to the description of some changes in the roles of women in Kenya. Decide if the statements are true or false.
Back in the mid-20th century, Kenya was a more male-dominated society compared to today. Men were ahead of women in both education and employment, but the situation has changed a lot since then. More and more women work these days. They earn to support their families, as well as to be financially independent. More women study nowadays. Higher education has witnessed a great rise in the number of women attending colleges and universities. Let's look at some figures. In 1995, 65% of Kenyan females stayed at home as housewives. This number dropped dramatically to 47% in 2010. It is predicted that this number will keep falling to around 30% in 2025. Only 22% of university students were girls in Kenya in 1995. 15 years later, in 2010, this number went up to 36%. Research shows that it will keep rising, and in 2025, about 48% of the student population will be made up of females.
Unit 12, page 79. Skills 2. Listening. Activity 2. Fom is talking to Mrs. Warner, Nick's mother, about future jobs he and his friends want to do. Listen to the conversation and fill in the blanks with no more than 3 words.
We had a good discussion yesterday about our future careers.
Did you? With Nick?
Yes, and also with Chang.
Good. Nick said that you want to become a teacher.
I've changed my mind. My mum is a teacher. She has mountains of work to do behind the scenes, preparing lessons, marking, giving feedback. She always has to work overtime without extra pay. I'd choose a 9-to-5 job.
I know.
Then there's the unpleasant task of dealing with lazy or naughty students. I'm not that patient.
But it's rewarding when your students are successful and they appreciate your efforts. What about Chang?
She said she's interested in travelling and she's a sociable girl. She wants to become a tour guide.
That sounds good. What about Nick?
Nick doesn't want to spend so much time on academic subjects. He'd prefer to acquire some applied skills and get a job right after school.
Did he tell you which job?
He mentioned becoming a mechanic. He's fascinated by cars and he's good with his hands.
I know, but it won't be easy. He'll need to learn lots of skills to do it.